Today we are talking about influence. This is for everyone in their 20s. By the end of this video, you should be able to build real influence, authentic, lasting, powerful influence in your 20s. Before we dive in, let's ask the big question. What is real influence? Real influence is the ability to affect people, situations, and outcomes through your ideas, your actions, and your story. Influence can be positive or negative. We are talking about positive influence here. Influence is when people listen when you speak, when they respect your opinion, and when your life becomes a reference point. It's not always flashy, it's not always public, but it's always powerful. There was a story of Floyd Mayweather in late 2022 about him and his entourage encountering issues landing in Dubai. So according to the reports, they weren't initially cleared to enter. Someone from the royal circle in Dubai was contacted and Mayweather received immediate clearance to disembark. That's what influence does for you. My first stage of influence, let me share something personal with you. I learned influence from a very young age. I was in GSS 2 when I became the assistant class captain. That might not sound like a big deal, but for me, it was the beginning of something deeper. Shortly after, I was promoted to class captain, and that changed everything. You see, I was very smallish physically when I was in school. I wasn't the kind of person you expect to command a room. But because of that role, I began to understand power of presence, responsibility, and respect. If you attended a boarding house, you know what boarding house can be. You know that boarding house can be rough, but I was never bullied. Why? I think it's because of the quiet influence I had. I also had quite a relationship with some seniors who were influential at the time. I'm talking about the senior prefect, deputy senior prefect, the class captain of other senior classes. So, of course, messing with me in that regard may be detrimental. It wasn't about shouting or being the strongest, it was about how I carried myself, how I treated people, and how I handled leadership. Even at that young age, I saw that people respond to influence, even if they don't fully understand what it is. And that early experience became the foundation of how I now think about leadership and influence as an adult. Let me tell you another story. Throughout my years in the Polytechnic, I have always had, I've always been friends with the class representative. We usually call them class rep. In HND, I used to write assignments for some of my classmates for a fee. Those of us who pass through the higher institution in Nigeria can relate to this. So sometimes I am unable to finish some people's assignment before the deadline. So I'll call my class rep and plead with them to postpone the date for submission, and they will oblige. I was able to do this because of the influence I had. I just used my influence to my own advantage. I'm going to be giving you 12 ways on how to build influence wherever you find yourself. Some may apply offline and some may apply online. Number one is willingness to serve. One of the simplest and most effective ways to start building influence is through service. If you ever find yourself in a group, meeting, or gathering where help is needed, be the first to raise your hand. Whether it's whether it's to lead a team, organize an event, or handle tasks, always be willing to serve. People naturally respect and remember those who are ready to take responsibility and not those who sit back and wait. If you are part of a community, workplace, school, or even a church group, make it a habit to always volunteer for tasks, especially the ones that others avoid. Over time, people will begin to see you as someone they can count on, and that's how influence begins. When you serve, you become visible. When you serve, you earn trust. When you serve, people start to follow your lead. You don't have to be the most talented or the most experienced. Just be willing to help, and influence will start to grow around you. Number two is know thyself. In your 20s, The first thing you need to do is to know yourself. Sounds simple, right? But most people skip this part. But most people skip this part. Ask yourself, what are my values? What do I stand for? What kind of person do I want to be known as? What do I want people to feel when they think about me? Influence begins with identity. You can't lead anyone without you can't lead anyone until you know where you are going. You need clarity on who you are becoming. So here's a tip. Start journaling. Write down what makes you angry, what makes you inspired, what your dreams are. This clarity will guide your actions, decision. This clarity will guide your actions, decisions, and voice. Show up consistently, even when no one is watching. Consistency builds credibility. In your 20s, you must show up before the applause comes. Post even when no one is engaging. Work hard when no one is clapping. Keep learning when no one is watching. The world respects people who keep showing up. And here is the truth. Your influence multiplies quietly. One day you will realize people have been watching you. People have been watching all along. Influence is built in the shadows before the light is revealed. Number four, master one thing. There is power in specializing in your 20s. You may feel pressured to be everything at once, to be an entrepreneur, to be a creator, to be a public speaker, to be a digital marketer, and all those things, all at the same time. But the fastest way to build influence is to become undeniably good at one thing. Pick something: storytelling, coding, fashion, fitness, teaching, public speaking, digital art, business, and go deep. Spend time learning, testing, failing, and mastering. When people hear your name, they should think of a specific skill or value that you offer. Influence grows when you Influence grows when you are excellent at what you do. Number five, document the journey, not just the success. Most people want to show only the highlight reel, but real influence comes from honesty. Document your journey. Share what you are learning. Talk about it. Talk about your failures. Be real. One thing you don't know is that vulnerability connects. Your audience doesn't need a perfect version of you. They need a human version of you. One they can relate to. One they can grow with. Build real relationships, not just followers. Social media has made us chase numbers instead of people. But real influence comes from connection, not just followers, but friends, mentors, partners, collaborators. Here's what to do. Engage with people genuinely in the comment section. DM people you admire and appreciate their work. Offer to help without expecting anything in return. Join communities and participate. One strong relationship, one strong relationship can open more doors than 10,000 random likes. Number seven, have a strong work ethic. Let your results speak. Talk less, do more in your 20s. One of your biggest advantages in your 20s is your energy. Use it wisely. Develop a work ethic that is so strong people can't ignore you. Be the person who follows through. Be the person who delivers. Be the person who surprises people with excellence. When you are reliable, people trust you. People remember you. People recommend you. And trust is the engine of influence. Number eight, think long term. Delay the applause. Influence starts Influence takes time. If you're looking for instant fame, you will sacrifice depth. Real influence is not quick. It's built over years. Of it it is built over years of staying the course, sharpening your voice, learning from your mistakes, and evolving. In your twenties, you're planting seeds. In your twenties, you're planting seeds. The fruit will come later. Don't compete with those ahead of you. Learn from them. Be patient. Stay focused. Number nine, embrace rejection and criticism. You can't build influence if you are too afraid of what people will think. You'll be misunderstood, you'll be judged, you'll be doubted. But the bold are always criticized first and praised later. You must be comfortable being uncomfortable. The earlier you get used to rejection, the bolder you become, and the bold people shape the world. Number 10, speak and write more. If you want to influence people, you must learn how to express your thoughts. Start small. Write short posts on LinkedIn or Twitter, share voice notes on WhatsApp stories, start a small podcast or YouTube channel, speak in small gatherings, even if it's your church group or school friends. Words are powerful. The better you speak and write, the further your influence goes. Number 11, be known for your character. This one is non negotiable. People may admire your skills, but they will follow your character. Be the person who keeps to their word, respect others, don't gossip, handles money well, is kind but not weak. Just someone who basically exhibit good traits. Your character will either protect your influence or destroy it. Number 12, stay teachable. Never stop learning. Influential people are always learning through books, podcasts, conversations, mentors, life lessons. The moment you think you know everything, you start losing influence. Be humble, ask questions, admit when you are wrong, be open to change. Let me leave you with this. You're already influencing someone right now. Someone is watching how you move, someone is listening to your voice, someone is learning from your choices. So the real question isn't will I be influential? The question is what kind of influence will I have? Your 20s are the most powerful years to lay a foundation for the life you want to build. Build it with intention. If you've gotten to this point in this video, like, share, subscribe. Very importantly, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment in the comment section.